Speaking of liberal dopes who are basically just Republicans, here is Bill Maher's monologue from Real Time with Bill Maher.
Trump has told 1 trillion lies, but when he says the Democratic Socialists of America are actually communist, that's not one of them.
Really? So Trump lies out his ass every day. Every day. But he says like one thing that your little baby pea brain agrees with. And all of a sudden you're like, he's telling the truth. He's the most honest man in America. Wow. I can't believe it. He said something right. You're fucking stupid.
And it's not hard to prove it, just by quoting the DSA and their candidates. It gives me no pleasure to have to do this. I'd much rather keep going the good vibes from my summer vacation. I had an awesome one, by the way. I totally got a... However, right before we left, Vice President J.D. Vance was on the show, and I told him that if the Democratic Party keeps going in the direction of the DSA, my vote was in play. And all I heard all vacation was, oh my God, you're a Republican now. No, that's not what I said. I said in play.
That's what that means. What does that mean then? What? If my girlfriend keeps doing this thing I disagree with, my dick is in play. Oh, so you're going to start cheating on her? That's not what I said. I said in play. Fucking moron.
And here's why. Because not a week goes by where I don't read about some newly chosen, exciting new face in the Democratic Party. And then when that face opens its mouth, the Communist Manifesto or some other crazy shit comes out.
I know where he goes in this clip because I've already watched it, but what point is he trying to make here? This is like going to the hot dog making factory and being blown away that they're making hot dogs. It's the hot dog making factory. Yes, the Democratic Socialists of America are socialist. What? Huh? I didn't know. What? Oh my God, I'm so shocked. I'm so surprised.
Again, let's just read the quotes. The DSA platform says your work...
This is such a baller logo, by the way. I'm a card-carrying DSA member now. I got my card in the mail last week, finally. Fuck, leftist shipping, am I right? Took them a month to send it to me. And this logo is on the card. This is such an awesome logo. It makes me want to get the custom card that they sell on their website, because this logo is fucking awesome.
Work as much as you are able and no more than needed. If that was any closer to Karl Marx's dictum from each according to his abilities to each according to his needs, they'd be sued for plagiarism.
Why are they applauding this? Yes, the Democratic Socialists of America believe in Karl Marx. Duh.
Not to leave any doubt, New York Mayor Mondani once tweeted Karl Marx's words exactly.
Wow.
They're not trying to
crazy
hide it.
That they believe in this. Wow. Oh, look, it's got Karl Marx on the back. That's crazy they believe this. Wow. What's in this book? What's in this book that they're quoting as well? Wow. Oh, man. Why would they believe this? Aren't they democratic socialists? Why do they believe in socialist ideology?
Popular influencer Hassan Piker thinks communism is so groovy. He laments the fall of the two of the most murderous regimes in history, the Soviet Union and Chairman Mao's China.
I don't understand what his point is here. Yeah, the fall of the USSR is essentially one of like the worst events of the late 20th century. Most historians concur on that point, by the way. It led to great famine and suffering for the Russians and the wider Soviet like satellite states surrounding Russia. It led to a lot of political instability, like, the collapse of institutions and, government programs and whatnot. It was pretty bad. And it essentially made the U.S. the monopoly superpower in the world, meaning that instead of us constantly having a check on what we were up to, because we were scared the USSR would gain footing on the world stage, now we can do whatever we want, and that's not good. Think about how much innovation we made during the Cold War. The space race, we innovated space technology, went to the moon. We have an international space station. GPS is because of the Cold War. The internet, formerly the ARPANET, is because of the Cold War. Drone technology, like all this stuff is a result of the Cold War because we were constantly innovating and inventing new shit with government funding. You could even say that's socialist. Like, that's what we were doing. We were funding all this great research and all these public programs to compete with the USSR, and politicians only upheld the New Deal for decades after FDR the way that they did because it made us look good against the USSR. New Deal Democrats and New Dealer politicians, like Nixon's probably the last New Dealer Republican we had in office. And that's how popular the policy was, that even when a Republican gained power in the White House, that they still had to adhere to the New Deal policies. That's why today, whenever you hear a Republican even utter the words, I want to get rid of Social Security, even the Republican voter base groans and is like, no, don't do that, because it's a popular policy. So yes, the USSR falling is like if every fast food chain went away and you were left with like a Burger King at the end. If the only fast food chain remaining is Burger King, you think their ass is going to be releasing new shit or making promotional items? No, because they have no one to compete with. We are the country's superpower monopoly. It's why in the last couple years, like with the Chips Act, with the computer chips and all that, that's why bills like that end up passing in recent memory, because now we're competing with China. Which then leads me to the Mao Zedong quote. Yes, without Mao, current day China wouldn't exist in the way that it does. Mao wasn't like a perfect leader. He killed all those sparrows and led to the Great Famine, which killed a lot of people. But that you shouldn't discount all the work he did to make China what it is today. This is all just like Red Scare fear mongering. That's all this is. All of this here. Oh, look at what he said about Mao. Look at what he said about the USSR. A lot of the people nowadays that see these clips weren't even alive when the USSR was around. If you're under the age of like 40, you don't remember the Soviet Union like that. So this shit doesn't work. But yes, it is not good to have one country be the sole superpower on the planet. Superpowers aren't good in the first place, but it's not good to have one nation be the only powerful country on Earth. There needs to be other countries that can challenge it on the world stage, so they keep each other on their toes.
Mandami's aide, his top aide, Sia Weaver, said if you don't believe in the government's sacred right to seize property, it's over, and impoverish the white middle class. What? That's a goal? You're supposed to scare people into voting for you, right?
Dude, I love Mom Donnie's team. I like that he like takes a very like chill, everyone can agree with him style, like left-wing position, and then he just surrounds himself with people like this. I fucking love it. Awesome.
One of the new soon-to-be Democratic congresspeople, Darlisia Chevalier, supports seizing
Darlisia? Is it really hard to say Daria Lisa? Is it? Is it really that hard to just say Daria Lisa? Yeah, Zoran Mamdani. Mayor of Newark. Mayor of Newark. Yeah. Darlesia. What the fuck? What a fucking idiot, dude. I hate these old white guys. Darlesia went on there and said seizing all properties. Like, come on, man. Zoran Mumdani.
Properties from landlords and said seize the means of production.
Milani.
Mendami has said the end goal is
so predictable.
Seize the means
so predictable
of production. Mendami has said the end goal.
Mendami. Mom Donnie. Look here, look. Swap my camera back to the other side. Look at this. Zoran. Easy. Mom Donnie. Not hard to say at all. It's not hard. I don't understand what's so hard about pronouncing that name. He's just being old, white, and racist. That's all he's doing. He's just doing the racist shit.
Is seizing the means of production. I think they want to seize the means of production.
They're socialists! Dude, they're socialist! Oh my God. They are self-described Democratic Socialists. Yes. Yes, they want to do socialist things. What is so hard? What is so hard? What is to not get? What is to not get about this? Yes. I don't know where I'm pointing my camera. Yes, they are self-described socialists. What is so hard to understand about that? Oh my God. Holy shit, dude. What is, I mean, I would hope the people that watch this show aren't that stupid. Yes, yes, the free puppy coalition is giving out free puppies. What? They came to town. I didn't think they were going to give out free puppies. What? The Free Puppy Coalition giving out free puppies? Who could have thought? Who could have thought?
Now maybe you missed that in
fucking bald freaks laughing at it. What's so funny?
School or missed school altogether, but that's communism. That's communism, which we tried, and it doesn't work.
We tried? Who tried? Who's we? Who is we? Are you talking about the communist revolution of the USSR that was then immediately co-opted and taken over by authoritarian powers and became an authoritarian regime? Is that what we're talking about? Are we talking about China? Which China's like doing pretty damn well right now. Yeah, I mean, they don't have a whole lot of social freedoms, I guess, compared to us, but I mean, I've seen it. It doesn't seem like it's as bad as they picture it, paint it out to be, but like they're like the second largest economy on earth right now. Like, seems like they're doing pretty damn well.
Parties can change sometimes, you know. You have to keep up. Who freed the slaves? Republicans. Lincoln.
What?
Democrats were the racist party back then. But then JFK got elected and it switched.
I'm not sure where we're going here. What is his point? Yeah, there was a great party switch, although you could argue that it happened a little earlier than that during the FDR administration. Considering he was a New Dealer, or you could argue socialist Democrat. You could argue that FDR was the closest thing to a democratic socialist we've ever had as a president. Especially because the newspapers at the time were calling him that. We're calling him socialist. I don't understand the point that he's getting at here exactly.
The DSA itself has switched, even 5 years ago. It shunned communists. That changed. Things change. Now the coalition within the DSA, called the Marxist Unity Group, is in ascendance, and I must take them at their word when their words include, our commitment is to the long-term struggle for a fully liberated, classless society, in a word, communism.
As a liberal, I want you to read this quote. You know, ignore what Bill Maher's doing, where he's trying to demonize this quote by claiming that, oh, it's look, communism. Oh, he's trying to do Red Scare. Take this word out. I want you to read this entire quote. You know, take this last line out, I guess, because this wouldn't work without it. Read this part of the quote. Does that sound bad? Imagine there wasn't a lower class of like poor people. Imagine if the middle class was just kind of the default for everybody, but like the upper middle class, because that's possible. Imagine if that was the default for everyone. There were no ultra wealthy elites, and there are no poor, impoverished, or shelterless people. Doesn't that sound kind of nice? Doesn't that sound nice? And it's possible. Capitalism only exists if there's a permanent underclass. And so, yes, you need to move beyond the functions of capitalism to achieve a world where there isn't a permanent underclass. You need to have social safety nets in place to catch people before they fall into that lower level. Hence why it's called a social safety net. You can fall back on it. Yeah, it's not something you're supposed to like depend on for the rest of your life. It's something to help you stay on your feet so you don't fall. And I find it really gross that rich elite, like just out of touch ass clowns like Bill Maher come out on this show with his multi-million-dollar Warner Brothers contract and just cry and complain and preach about a world where people are advocating to uplift people's lives and end suffering on an economic level, which will then reverberate out to everything else. You solve people's material conditions, and that will have positive effects on crime rate, on violent crime rate especially, but it'll have positive effects on the rate of like theft, crime rates in general. You know, people can generally become smarter, more intelligent, more well-read. Society just generally becomes better as time goes on. You publicly fund things, then we'll have innovations. You know, like I said, the internet and GPS for this little thing right here wouldn't exist without government public funding. So this is not a private creation. It's not. Think about the original telecommunications, the telegram. You know how integral it was for the telegram when the government needed it to use it to communicate with generals during the Civil War? You don't think that propped up the telegram as a reliable communication source, which then led to the telephone, which then led to this little thing in my hand right here? So yeah, out of touch rich morons like this guy that want to continue the old system of capitalism in this country, they essentially want a world in the future where we have feudalism again and you are all slaves. That is the end goal of late stage capitalism, is when your whole purpose in life is you're going to go to this factory and you're going to build missiles for 12 hours a day, and you're going to go home and you're going to go to bed, no luxuries, no little treats, and you're going to wake up and do it all over again every day for the rest of your life. So a small group of rich people can sit on a yacht somewhere in the Pacific Ocean and fuck off all day. while there's other people blowing each other up on another part of the planet.
What do they have to do? Tweet out, elect more communists? Oh, yeah, Sia Weaver did that. Yes. Good, I'm glad you're shocked.
What is the goal of this whole segment? What is this investigation? I don't understand. It's like finding a dead body on the ground with the murder weapon right next to them, and the killer is on scene confessing, and Detective Maher comes out here and goes, "Crazy idea, guys, but based on everything I'm seeing right here, one could conclude that perhaps, just maybe based on my great detective work, we just saw a murder." Okay. It's pretty well known that the DSA will have some overlap with people who are also communists. That's not surprising. So, I mean, I'm not a communist, I'll say that. I don't necessarily agree with the full-fledged communist society because I don't think it's practical on a large scale. In the industrialized world that we live in now, I don't think it's practical. But I'm not discounting it. I think a lot of its ideas are feasible and could work. But that's why I'm a socialist, because I don't subscribe to the whole package of communism. I subscribe to the parts that I think would work in an industrialized society that we live in today. But I'm not going to be like, oh my God, we got to McCarthy this shit and fucking seek out all the communists in the DSA and oust them. I mean, seriously, what is this? Like, Detective Maher over here, guys, I think there's some communists in the Democratic Socialists of America. What? Did you know they read Marx? Ah, oh my God. I can't believe we didn't notice it before. Holy shit, man.
People got to realize this is going on.
All the clapping seals in the audience. Wow, Bill, you figured it out.
My vote is in play. I'm not voting for anyone who thinks the wrong side won the Cold War or cheers for the Intifada like it's the World Cup. It's so ironic.
Oh my God, I forgot he's pro-Israel. We're done with this because he's going to go on some tangent about colonialization. Oh, wait. Actually, no, this is the good quote.
From the people who obsess about colonization. You know what's being colonized now? The Democratic Party.
This nasty little freak, bro. Takes a topic like colonialization, like the fact that Israel is trying to colonize Gaza and the West Bank after 75 years of colonization over Palestine, or the fact that, you know, we do actually care about the fact that the USSR fell, which now leaves the US as a sole unchecked superpower. I like that he takes all that and goes, well, new rule. These socialists are socialists. Am I right? They're trying to globalize the Intifada. Oh my God. They're colonizing the Democratic Party. Gross. Yeah. I'm glad we're losing people like that in the party. Good riddance. Cut the fat. Cut these Republican freaks. He's always been a conservative at this point. Like, the last bold thing Bill Maher ever said was a week. I think it was September 18th, 2001. A week after 9/11. Went on his show, like the political correctness show or whatever, and said, you know who are the real cowards? Us, because we lob missiles over there at the people who perpetrated this attack. You know who aren't cowards? The people who flew the planes into the buildings. That's what Bill Maher said on his No Political Correctness show or whatever it was. And the show got canceled as a result. That's one of the last bold things he ever said. And then he goes on and onto his show 25 years later and is like, these socialists, I think they're socialists. We went on Twitter. We key searched communist on major DSA members' Twitters, and we found them talking about communism. Big breakthrough. Fucking moron, dude. Ugh.